but it is about external rotation and abduction during walking, during gait. But she said that she has tried treadmill and shoulder flexion and making the patient walk with speed, but it hasn't worked. So, in such a scenario, what else can be done?
Okay. Suppose if you are doing somebody treadmill walk and there is too much of circumduction, it is happening. The circumduction is happening because either he is not doing good hip flexion. So in that, if you could focus on more of hip flexion, and along with that, if you use a ankle AF4s like dynamic AF4, it is more better. Or you passively do the handling. You put the person into adduction while he is doing stepping, and the more you put the person into adduction, or you don't allow. Sorry, I will let me correct. I'm not saying that you need to put the person into adduction. You don't allow him to go into abduction. Can you please come? So suppose face that side, and you are walking like this. There is too much of circumduction happening. Okay, one place, and you can keep doing that as a cyclic nature. So if there is no, if you are doing like this circumduction, so what is happening there is she is coming too much of abduction. So what I do? So I am giving you a constraint here that you have to move this much only. So by giving a little bit constraint here, you can do the stepping more easily. So do not try to correct too much. So I gave a abduction constraint here, or while you are doing abduction step is you guide the hip flexion. I am guiding the hip flexion more. I am not doing knee flexion here. It is not this. I am doing this. The more I guide the hip flexion more, she gets better. Or you can start.
Sir, sorry. Can you just clear the question from the screen so that the demonstration?
Sorry. Okay. Let me repeat again. So you do the cyclic nature. Like this is how she is doing abduction. Too much of abduction. So the abduction is happening from the hip, and she is doing too much of abduction to knee flexion. Okay. So what you do is there is too much of abduction. You give a constraint. She is on treadmill. Okay. Give a constraint little bit here, and this will help her to do the forward flexion. Or you can assist hip flexion, not the knee flexion. My hand is here, but this is the leading hand. This is the hand which is doing flexion. So you do the flexion here like this. Okay, and this is just the constraint that the more I do this, this going flexion. Or there is one more technique. You stand at the back while she is doing kidney flexion. Step. You give a stimulus from here, or you can do the pelvic here. So it's called as pelvic tuck. Okay, I'm giving a tuck here. So this tuck also helps to the kidney flexion. Or you can give a stimulus from here. I do the pelvic tilt here like this. You can take this hand out. So this is what I'm doing in the class. This what they are doing. You use different stimuli. If you have a patient like this shoes, then this is not going to work. Probably you have to use this. If this will not work, you go down, do this. If that will not work, do the kidney flexion in the beginning till she learns. And once she learns the pattern, then probably you can come to this small tuck.
Very well demonstrated. Can we use some equipment which in its inherent property has hip knee flexion, like the elliptical or cross trainer, in which automatically it goes into hip knee flexion?
I think you already answered. You use the environment. Elliptical cross trainer is always better because it has a cross training movement in the upper limb as well as there is hip knee flexion in the lower limb. If you understand, there are a lot of treadmill nowadays which has a step up and down direction like this, and some of the treadmill has this elliptical thing is been incorporated in that which does hip knee flexion like this. So if you use that dynamics, like I use cross trainer first in the sitting, they are doing cross trainer in the sitting. Once they get little bit good control and stability, they go in standing and they can use the cross trainer in standing. Only problem is sometimes some of the patient has got a lot of plantar flexus spasticity or extensors or plantar flexus are too much down. So the moment you put them on elliptical thing, you get a hip knee flexion, but after that you get sudden extension. So you get like this, and which introduces hyperextension. In that case, you don't use elliptical because you get hip flexion, but you get hyperextension. And as I said, we should not bother too much about hip knee flexion. we should bother about stance stability. And if you are getting abnormal stance stability with the hyperextension of the knee, which is a very big problem long term, and it is very difficult to solve. So do not introduce the problem which you cannot solve.
Okay, sir. Thank you.